It would never show up on camera, but if you saw the pieces, and I actually have them in the back of the truck that were in here, it had been in a collapsed barn.
Hey guys, girls, got Dad with me here, and we're gonna be heading out to Brian's house. You think you guys would remember him if you've seen the video of Dad's Nova and Brian's Mustang. That was, what would you say, 2 years ago? A year ago?
Yeah.
Something like that.
All before COVID.
All before COVID. So we'll post a link up of those at some point in this video. But we're gonna go check out Brian's project he's been working on for about the last year, I would say. I think Dad knows a little bit more how long he's been on this thing.
Yeah, a few months for sure. Yeah.
So we're heading out there now, and it should be a fun time. I have not seen it yet, but Brian's gonna tell us about his project, and let's see if we can get a couple other people's builds on the channel and check them out.
Perfect.
Well, did he buy another four-wheel drive?
No, that's when he finished.
Oh. All right, guys, we've made it to Brian's shop, and he's done a couple vehicles, including this truck here. Let's go meet him.
It's clean. It's all wet. Nobody here.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Tim.
Good to be out in your shop again.
Welcome here.
I've heard a lot about this guy here from my dad, and picture updates, video updates on his phone that you've sent. You want to tell us a little bit about this car and what we're going to be looking at today?
Sure. It's a 29 Model A. I picked it up in November. A guy came up to me and showed me a picture of it and says, I hear you need a project. So I looked at it, looked interesting, and I said, where is it? It's my brother's. So it was near Winnipeg. So Rick and me went and took a look at it.
Yeah.
Your dad. Had a great time together and bought this thing, and now it's here. So that's how it came to be.
Nice.
Yes, 29 Model A. It's been done into a roadster back in the 70s. And so we're going to kind of stick with that theme, but just make a few changes to it, make it a little bit more modern.
More classy.
Well, a lot of the things there's a lot of improvements out now that you can do, and just want it to drive nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for ice cream and have fun.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, need the ice cream.
Yeah.
I hate to lose calories.
Yeah, gotta keep them up, right?
Been a long time coming these days.
Nice.
Not gonna lose them.
Well, let's take a look at this car and we can see what you got going here.
Sounds good.
If you want to.
I mean, it's so easy to do.
Yeah, let's hang the door in there. Is this kind of like owning a Jeep in a sense?
Well, probably.
I like your adjustment techniques.
Bigger foot.
Very nice, very nice. Do these doors have any adjustment?
Very little.
Very little.
Very little.
So I'm seeing a lot of brazing here. Was that from you?
No, that's back in the 70s when this thing was found in the first place. And that's how they did it then, and I'm glad that they did, because it would have gone to the crusher otherwise, it would gone. So we found better ways to do things now than what there was then, but hey, that's how it was done.
So off camera, you were telling me you had a chopped top. I misunderstood you, and I thought all you've done is change the crown here, but...
No, I did cut 2 inches out.
Okay.
2 inches came right out of here,
And
all the way around.
So what you were saying is the front window still retains its height, but the whole roof is chopped.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the back window's shorter, you see?
Yeah, that's 2 inches narrower.
So that gives it a really nice profile. That's sort of how Ford should have done it back in the day, hey?
Well, you got to remember they came from carriages. The style was carriage. That's even why the original, they had a big squared off knob up front here.
Yeah.
That was like the carriages were. It used to be higher.
Okay.
The crown was higher on the roof originally.
Yeah.
Actually, this roof was flat on here. There was no crown at all. It was almost actually disc-shaped.
We've got a crown in there now, hey? I see that.
So it's pretty close to 3 inches lower that the roof is from where it would have been, but I never touched the windshield. It's
Okay.
factory.
But just changing the crown in the roof has allowed it to be lowered on, look lower kind of thing.
Right.
Okay.
It was really, it would never show up on camera, but if you saw the pieces, and I actually have them in the back of the truck that were in here, it had been in a collapsed barn.
Oh.
Totally rotted there and badly brazed together, but it was like a screen door for rust.
And that's why you had that cut out in the pictures I saw.
Right.
Okay. Nice. So check out that crown, guys. I'm told they are what?
There are two 1995 era Chevy truck roofs in there. One extended cab and one.
But it just works so well, and I think that's like when you're hot rodding. That's kind of you make work. I mean, it's not schmaded, but you make things work for your purpose. So I thought these cars were all wood. I'm not seeing much wood here.
They were all. The wood was all encased in metal. So there's still a little bit of wood here, but up here I've already welded metal into it. There's metal going to go in here. Just all you need is enough metal in there to attach your upholstery and.
That's the whole purpose of it.
Yeah.
And they had wooden floor.
They had wooden floor, just slabs that sat in here. They actually need to be removable. They needed to be removable because you had batteries under here and brakes were under here.
This was there originally too? This is,
No, it was not here. It had very different brakes altogether. This is something else.
Little Schmader system.
Yep.
There's that word, guys, Schmade.
Schmader. Yeah.
Schmader. That's
Schmade.
if you're American, you might say MacGyver, but here in southern Manitoba, we say Schmade.
Schmade. Yeah.
When there's no other word for it.
No other word. It's no other word. You're right.
Much easier to say than MacGyver.
Yeah.
So, no, and they also had wood all the way around the windows up here.
Yeah. You braced it really nicely here now. See?
Yeah, you got a nice job on the roof.
You got your bead roller. It looks like.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a nice tool to use, hey?
Oh, man.
The
I didn't know
things you
how
can
else
do.
I was going to do it.
I seem to remember seeing pictures. There was a really pretty filler cap back there, right?
Yeah, it had a door out of like some, I don't know what, but there was a door here.
It made more sense with the tank to put it there. It lines up.
Is that a Mustang piece? Or is that something else?
You know what? It was a filler cap I had laying here. It's actually the same as my 76 150.
Okay. But
So-
it looks right on this car.
So I kind of had it and I just held it there and thought, yeah, I like it. So
Nice.
that's what I did.
And my dad was saying you had planned for these fenders yet to make them work with these tires, eh?
Well, there's going to be different wheels and tires on here, but I do expect to probably
Split that.
split this and go a little bit wider on the rear fenders.
I think that'll look pretty good.
Yeah, right now it's kind of got a weird look to it, but I don't have the wheels on here yet that are going to be on here, so I'm not sure where the offset's going to be. I want to put a set of chrome reverse and baby moons on this.
White walls too?
I'm up in the air on that. Depends on the color for sure.
Yeah, I guess you can order those after you get the color nailed down, right?
Because the colors that I'm leaning to, some of them would be better with a white wall.
Yeah.
But some of the others, no, not so much. It's got a floor mount pedal, but I think I will end up going swing weight pedals on here yet. The way it sits now, it's even with the door here. It's not a very big door, so you'd be sitting pretty much back here to make this pedal work.
Kind of like our race car.
And it's not, so. And this will be a little higher. I want to put a tilt wheel in here. I mean, it was a racer. It was, I should say, it was a hot rod.
Like traditional hot rod, build it in your backyard kind of thing.
That's what it was, so I'm staying in the vein of it, keeping the soul of it, as they like to say. I built the visor out of the same metal that I built the roof out of. And it's just kind of loose in here right now, but it'll be supported in 4 places.
And that visor does a lot for it.
Yeah, he built that out of nothing.
From scratch?
Yeah, that's a
nice.
scratch build. Made the roof a little bit wider at the front and at the back so that the door will sit inside underneath the full rail.
Yeah. You said faux or foam?
Full.
Oh, okay. It's just appearance of a drip rail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was up on the mez looking down on it before I had it, and all you saw was the top of the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this a Mustang 2 front end like everybody seems to have back in the day?
This is actually a Chevette front end.
Okay.
This is from circa 1982, that era. It's got the rack and pinion on it, and somebody has put these drum brakes on there at some point. I'm not sure in the brakes yet. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I do know I have to make some alterations here because the Chevette height to the top of the shocks, it's too high to run in a correct location because of this is where the fenders run now. So I will have to make some alterations.
So is it very nose high with the way previous? So you want to channel that front, or?
It's kind of like a high boy.
Okay.
But I'm going to be dropping it to match the height in the back because this is pretty close to the height that I plan to run the back. I'd kind of like to keep about this rake. It may be an inch higher up front.
And you should be able to get that front end down by adjusting your suspension a little bit, eh?
Well, I'm going to cut it out and redo it.
May as well. You're this far already, right? Yeah. I'm not the kind. I think I get it because I'm not the kind of guy. If I don't like it and I leave it,
yeah, it's there forever.
It's there forever, you know. Yeah, and I wish I would have always done it differently. That's me.
Yeah, I wish I hadn't even done the car.
Yeah.
You didn't like it that it was just mounted under this rail, right?
Right.
Oh, it is just welded on there, hey?
Yeah, it's just so I'm cutting it out of there.
And then he's left the doubles in there, so.
I'm at the point now, the next thing I want to do is actually locate the engine and transmission.
Mm-hmm.
And get those mounts squared away, the drive shaft in there, get those angles correct. And then when that's done, after that, then I'll work on the front height. I know you're supposed to get all your heights first. That's how proper hot rodders do it, but I'm going to do it my way. The top arms were actually longer than the lower arms, which gave the bounce and rebound on the rear end the wrong axle, or I should say the wrong drive shaft angles.
It would have handled really poorly, hey?
Yeah, and as you're putting weight on there, like you'd be eating U-joints and stuff. So shortened these up, added a bracket so that it was a bit more rigid. It's pretty
It feels like side-to-side stiff now.
It was not, because these were just 3/4 inch rods in there before. So I trimmed this back a bit. It was about an inch deeper, just like here, but I didn't have room for clearance for the 8-inch Ford when it was all the way bottomed out. So I had to cut that, weld the lip back in, and then I also flared that a bit so that these arms have room for the forelinks, the top links.
Are you gonna do a panhard bar in the back, or is this pretty
No,
good
I
now?
think this is going to be pretty good. It's triangulated pretty securely, so I'm not seeing any lateral movement at all. So I don't think I need a panhard in here. It's also not going to be
It's not autocrossing, right?
no. It's just going to be driving.
Nice.
So it's
They're to go for ice cream and then a little bit of street racing with your buddies, right?
I don't think it's going to do a lot of street racing even. It's going to run pretty nice.
Nice. Yeah, I'd be up to do more updates on this car. As you feel like calling me down, we'll feature it on the channel if you're interested. But I thought some people might enjoy seeing a hot rod. I would, for one, would love to build a hot rod. So
Well, it kind of, I think that, like, I like doing cars. I've done a fair amount of cars. I don't know how many I've done, maybe 15 or so. But I find it works best when cars find you.
This is where we're at today. Finished product. What kind of engine you putting in?
I just plan to put a 302 automatic in here.
those are good sounding motors.
It's
Yeah.
it's gonna be a cruiser, right?
It's a cruiser.
And
I'd like to put 2-inch dual exhaust with Hollywood mufflers, true to the day, near the front, so it'll have a bit of a wrap in the back.
nice.
That's,
It's supposed to be very traditional when you're done with it, right?
yes.
I'm a big fan of traditional. Traditional is awesome.
Traditional. I didn't go with an excessive chop for that reason. I mean, some guys did back then, but not so much.
This is more like you can hop in and without banging your head and enjoy the ride, right?
Yeah, if you can move a vertebrae, you can do it.
Well, I've enjoyed being at your shop. I always love coming here, checking out what you have going on.
Appreciate you coming out,
We have good talks after.
telling me what to do,
Telling you what to do.
giving me ideas.
But it looks good. I'm excited. It makes me want to also build something like this. So guys, you might see maybe a year, maybe 5 years down the road, we might be building something like this. So maybe, we'll see. I have Bel Air on my mind too, but can't seem to put that stuff down. Anyways, thank you very much, Brian, for having us down, and I enjoyed the visit.
Thank you, Deb. You're welcome anytime.
Perfect. We're gonna have a nice drive home. It has pretty much turned from green to white, guys. Well, we're on the way home from Brian's place. Check out those highways, guys. We had another little bit, I wouldn't call it a snowstorm. I guess if you are southern states, this would be a snowstorm. Here it's just a little mucky.